It is November 2nd of 2024. I'm starting this blog. I'm starting it a little late. I wanted to start it earlier today, record it. I wanted to record it earlier today, but oh well, here we are. And I guess my intentions for starting this, I really don't know. To put it plainly, I believe God wants me to start posting videos online, so here I am. I do have thoughts to do a podcast, but that's still a ways from now. And so I figure in the meantime, I can do this, just post little blog videos online, little weekly updates of what it is that I'm doing. I don't expect the production values to be very high. I expect to be quite informal. I don't know who's going to watch these, but it's a simple little thing, and even if for no other reason, I do know that I personally enjoy documenting things. I enjoy documenting my progress on stuff, and so I can definitely say that there would be a part of me that would enjoy being able to go back and see a video from a previous week of my life and being like, yeah, that's right, I remember doing that. I remember when I was in that place and when I was doing that thing and when I was having those thoughts and when I was trying to get through whatever it was I was getting through at that time. So I can definitely see myself enjoying it. Whether or not you, the viewer, will enjoy it, well, I don't know. That's a matter for another time. In terms of myself right now, I am living in Vanessa right now. Last weekend I was in San Antonio for my little niece, my little cousin. My little cousin's first birthday. She turned 1, and that was pretty cool. I went and I did a show at the Blind Tiger Comedy Club on Friday. That was fun. What was actually really cool about that show was that it was a really small room. It's a really intimate crowd. Like, they're right on top of you. And what was awesome was that I spent the majority of my set just talking to the audience and fooling around with them and being silly and riffing and everything. I did a few of my jokes, but definitely the thing that was more fun for me, and I think more fun for the audience too, for sure, was when I was just talking to them and messing with them and being silly and joking around and everything. And there was just one couple in the front right who the dude was really enjoying everything that I was doing. He was definitely laughing. And then I was hearing giggles and like the kind of laughs that people are making when they don't want to laugh. They're like trying to hold it in, but you can still hear them laughing. They're like putting their hand over their mouth, and I heard everyone else doing that. And it was fun. And what was cool though was I got the light to wrap up because my time is coming to a close. And before I got off, I'm like, well, that's my time. That's been my time. Thank you very much. Basically saying goodbye to the audience. And the audience groaned. They groaned. They're like, oh, no. There was even one guy who was like, encore, encore. And that was cool. It was really, really cool. It was really, really fun and awesome because whatever it was about what it was that I was doing that particular night, that for that set, for that crowd, they didn't want it to stop. There were, it was a collective groan, right? It wasn't just one person. It was kind of everyone. It was just like an awe throughout the whole crowd, and and one person yelled encore. I don't know if he said it twice, but he definitely said it at least once, and it was awesome because I did something right. You know, there's something about that night with that crowd that I did something right, and they liked it, and they were saddened when it was coming to a close, when it was ending. Like they wanted it to go on longer, um, and that I've mentioned that, I've said that to a few friends and to some family members and stuff, and they've all said more or less the same thing, which is like, oh, that's really good, right? Like that means they like you. That means they really liked you. They wanted it to continue. And so I was like, yeah, I had the same thought too. Like no, this is a good thing, right? Yeah, I didn't make them laugh as much as I would have liked with my jokes that I had written, but I showed them a good time, and they had a good time, and they didn't want the good time to come to a close. So that's a good thing. It's a really good thing. So that made me really happy. That particular set last week. I am happy about that. Other than that, you know, I saw some comedian friends. I saw some comedian friends. Um, just in San Antonio, you know, going back to San Antonio, seeing friends, did some mics, um, talked to comedians and everything, hung out for a little bit. Uh, there were these two new comics that I hadn't met before, but you know, I saw them there, and uh, they were gonna hang out afterwards after the mic. The day before I was coming back to Houston, so they asked me like, "Hey, you want to come out? You want to come? You know, hang out, chill with us?" And I didn't know them, but I'm like, "No, I'm good." And then you know, I started my drive to Houston that night, and then finished it the following morning. But on my drive to where I was parking for the night, it kind of like dawned on me. I'm just like, no, I should have went. I should have hung out with them, because that's two more comics that I don't know, right? That's two more people that I could potentially get to know and network with. And what I've learned from doing comedy is networking is very, very important. Not disingenuously, like people want to hang out with people they actually like. And how do I know if those two guys are two people that I wouldn't want to hang out with unless I hang out with them? To find out that I wouldn't want to hang out with them. And the next time I go to San Antonio, uh, they'll be there, and then we'll hang out some more, and it'll be cool. And you know, like, and I never know who anybody will become, right? I don't know. Maybe one of them becomes a producer for a show. Maybe one of them becomes a writer for SNL. Maybe one of them wants to do like a movie or something, a YouTube-based series, right? Web series, and he's got a part for me in mind, and I do it just because, like, why not? And it blows up, and I get a bunch of like fame from that, right? Which is really important in comedy. Like you want to be famous to some degree, because if you can't get people to come out to see you, if there aren't enough people who know you, you're not gonna make it. Like, not successfully, at least not financially, because people got to buy your tickets. So yeah, I realized on the drive that, yeah, I should have hung out with him. I should have hung out with him. That was dumb, because I didn't have to make that drive. I could have waited till the morning after to drive to Houston. I wanted to make the drive that evening to make it shorter in the morning. But you know, I guess it's kind of one of those things where like I needed to make that mistake to realize, like, oh yeah, if I'm out somewhere and then there's some comedians who, like, I don't know, but they're being friendly enough to invite me to hang out with them, hang out with them, especially if I don't have anything to do the next day. Yeah, like, I shot myself in the foot with that, because you never know who anybody's gonna become. And it's not that you should think of people in the sense that, uh, oh, when they become successful, I'm gonna write off that success. No, it's more of like, uh, it's always nice to just be nice to people. And if people are being nice to you and inviting you to the thing, like, it doesn't hurt to go, you know, especially, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'm kind of repeating myself with this, but you get the idea. So that happened as well. And then, I mean, the rest of the week was the rest of the week. Texans lost on Thursday, which was a little lame. I did a set Wednesday night. That was a terrible set. That set sucks so bad. I tried to do my jokes. I tried to do some new jokes, and it just did not work. Not because the jokes weren't working, just my delivery, my timing, the way I was connecting with the crowd, which I wasn't, and it was a complete and total disconnect. It was one of those instances where like I should have riffed and been in the moment more instead of trying to just do new jokes, because one lady in the crowd had went up just before me and said some pretty wild things, and she had like the energy and the attention of the room, and I should have riffed off of that with her while she was in the audience instead of trying to do my jokes, because people were still, in a sense, listening to her, right? And I didn't recognize that, but I mean, I know that now. So again, you make your mistakes so that you learn what to do and what not to do in different situations. But I had been riffing so much with crowds and everything up to that point that I really wanted to focus on my set, or on my jokes and getting my jokes out and everything. So it's like I had a mindset and a frame of reference for how I wanted to approach my night that evening that was not conducive to what was actually going on in the room relative to the comic who had just gone up before me, right? So if I'd gone up with more of the idea of what it was that I was doing before, which was like, oh, I'm just going to go up and be silly and be me and just talk to the audience and vibe with them and everything, I probably would have had a better night, honestly. I probably would have had a better set, because I would have talked to her, about what she was doing. It was her birthday, like why did she get on stage, really get her involved in the conversation in the set. That way everyone else would be involved as well, and I could like riff off of that, get the attention, hold it, and then maybe towards the tail end of the set actually try out a joke or two, but that was something that I'd been doing so many times beforehand that just like I didn't want to do it again. But it seems like that was the night to do it. Honestly, that was the night that I should have did that, honestly, and I didn't recognize it. So, oh well, oh well. What can you do? This is the thing. Whenever I try to like talk about comedy with people, and just like, dude, it's such a process. Like you can't really break it down, and even talking about it with other comics, it's tricky. It's tricky because it's so oriented just to the perspective of the individual who is practicing it, that to try to talk about it without being in it just it's not the same. There's a total disconnect in what it is audiences and just regular people think about comedy, and then what it's like to actually practice comedy. They're not the same thing, like, at all. So yeah. But that's a good spot. This went on a little longer than I wanted it to go. I wanted to try to aim under 10 minutes, but this is okay. So this is, I guess, first entry, and just see how this goes. So thank you very much. God bless. And